My name is Ambassador Nasiru Aminu. I'm the ambassador of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to Ethiopia and Djibouti, and permanent representative to the African Union and UNECA. I'm the chair of the Peace and Security Council of the African Union for the month of May 2026. It's a celebratory delight to inform you that Nigeria has taken over the chairship of the African Union Peace and Security Council, and in relation to the core objectives of our leadership, I want to inform that lead advocacy for the safety of civilians, particularly children, women, and elderly people living in areas where there are active conflicts and security concerns are a major issue for us. Our council has already convened a session on the impact of climate change on the crisis situation in the Lake Chad Basin and the Sahel region. And during that meeting, the council members reiterated their conviction that climate change is a threat multiplier in the peace and security and humanitarian context in the Sahel and the Lake Chad Basin region. We also spoke about the armed conflicts induced by climate change and other factors such as forced displacement, extreme poverty, food insecurity, water scarcity, flood, droughts, desertification, land degradation, and other extreme weather events. As Council, we drew attention to the plight of people living in these regions and call on the international community to redeem their pledge and honor their funding commitments for loss and damages, as well as mitigation and adaptation efforts of countries and peoples in this region. Then on the 6th of this month, our council also met to examine our continental strategies for combating transnational organized crime, which is a major concern for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And during the session, the council members called for the adoption of an international instrument for limiting the integration of resources illicitly exploited from Africa into legal markets abroad. It was also an opportunity for the council to urge countries from where weapons emanate, including drones that are used by criminal networks on our continent, to prevent the illegal export of such weapons. We hope that the countries concerned will heed our call. We also had a session today where we reflected options available for funding AU-led peace support operations and replenishment of our peace fund, which is currently grossly inadequate. The next meeting will be on the 11th and 13th, where the Council, through its committee of experts and subcommittees on counterterrorism, will assess AU liaison offices and brainstorm on the draft 5-year AU Continental Counterterrorism Strategic Plan of Action, respectively. In relation to the AU liaison offices, the desire is to ensure that they are fit for purpose, and in relation to the Counterterrorism Strategic Plan of Action, the focus is on developing consensus-based legal and normative instruments for addressing the scourge of terrorism, which, as you know, is visible in different parts of our continent. Then on the 15th of this May, our council will hold 2 sessions dedicated to issues related to the operationalization of the Africa Standby Force, as well as efforts being made towards operationalizing the Combined Maritime Task Force to address piracy and other criminal activities in the Gulf of Guinea. We also met with the President of the United Nations Security Council, His Excellency, the Permanent Representative of the People's Republic of China to the United Nations, and we appreciate China's contribution towards the African Standby Force, particularly their supply to the continental logistics base in Douala, Cameroon. We also express our expectation that his delegation will support the full operationalization of the force given its many advantages. On the 18th, we intend to convene to deliberate on the issue of stabilization activities of an MNJTF in the Lake Chad Basin. During this session, the Council is expected to reiterate the need for funds for the mission and call for the exploration of the possibility of leveraging on the provision of United Nations Security Council Resolution 2719 to support the MNJTF. The second session will focus on the political transition and security situation in Guinea-Bissau. And the desire of the PSC is to see a stabilized Guinea-Bissau led by duly elected leaders. As such, the Council intends to interface with representatives of the transitional government of the country with a view to finding an amicable solution to the situation in the country. We will urge stakeholders to place the interest of their country above their individual interests. Before we do that, on the 15th, we intend to meet with the Foreign Minister of Mali and discuss the situation in the country and proffer solutions to the problem. We also, the chair will also participate at the 17th AU high-level retreat on peace and security that is taking place in Libreville in Gabon, as well as the forthcoming Africa-India Summit that's taking place in New Delhi. Then our committee of experts will also hold the induction exercise in Abuja within the month. And while in Abuja, the members of the committee of experts will interface with the leadership of the Nigeria's Counterterrorism Center to see what they can do with the center in terms of training and capacity building. In a nutshell, the elimination of the threat of terrorism, piracy and transnational organized crimes on our continent, as well as the strengthening of funding mechanism for AU-led and AU-mandated peace support operations, the operationalization of the African Standby Force and peaceful settlement of disputes are the anchor of Nigeria's chairship of the AU Peace and Security Council. We can only add that Africa will also attract more humanitarian assistance under our chairship, and if I'm allowed to sound ambitious, we will hit the turning point in our advocacy for the application of the provision of Resolution 2719 on ASOM and perhaps other peace support operations on the continent, including the MNJTF. We want to use this opportunity to sue for greater global stability, restraint and the escalation of tension in every part of the world, especially in the Middle East. We also hope that broader consensus will be forged on time and that the best candidate will emerge as the United Nations organization. I thank you so much.